scale from 1 to 5, 6.
I'm back. What's up? What it is, what it do? It's your boy Alan C. and the place to be. And you're now rocking with Al You Buggin'. Follow Al You Buggin' on Instagram and on YouTube at Al_you_bugging. So we're just gonna go ahead and break down the AFC division by division, who I think is gonna win and what order they're gonna fall in. I also have an interview with Eric Wilson, owner of Athletically Challenged. Before we get started, let's go ahead and get some homecoming housekeeping issues out the way. Shout out to my Sideline Talk family. Herb, Tay, John, what up, brothers? Let's link up. Let's make amazing happen again. We have football coming on tonight, starting at 7. We do have the Eagles taking on the Jets at 7:30, I believe that was. Yes, Eagles at 7:30. The Vikings and Titans are on at 8. So is the Falcons and the Cowboys and the Bears and Chiefs for tonight's action. Jeez. Y'all know this is a live show. It is. Anything can happen. But back at it. No distractions. Let's go ahead and kick it off. AFC East. Let's kick it off at the AFC East. Buffalo Bills have won this division for the last 5 years. The Buffalo Bills have won this division for the last 5 years. Pretty much since Belichick lost Tom Brady, the Bills have been winning this division. So, got the reigning MVP. It's hard to go against them to win this division again. They got a tough defense that added Joey Bosa. So Joey Bosa into the mix with that already great tough defense and front four. Y'all know what that is. Dalvin Cook, he got re-signed to a big contract, and he did a lot of scoring last year on that offense. Only thing I haven't seen them really take to yet is adding more wide receiver weapons. They still have both big tight ends, Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid over there in Buffalo. And like I said, it didn't stop Josh from winning the MVP last year. So I got them winning the division again. MGM Sportsbook set the over-under at 12.5 games. I'm going to go with the over. I think they get 13 this year. 13-4 record. And potential top of the AFC, number 1 seed, rested for the bye. So at the top, I have Buffalo. And then when we get into the second team, we have New England Patriots. MGM Sportsbook set that over under at 8.5 games. I think this is the team that improves the most this season as far as wins. They pretty much have, you never know because it's on paper, but looking at the paper, they pretty much have a winnable schedule. Like I said, I think this team improves the most this season in the AFC. But I don't think they're ready to win the division. That's why I have Buffalo at the top. But there's going to be a fight towards the top again for the Patriots. And I think the Patriots they have a chance of getting back to the playoffs, depending on what the rest of the AFC does. But they might rest right outside of it. For the third time during his career, Stephon Diggs has been called on to grow a second-year quarterback. He came over from Minnesota in 2020 to help out I'm sorry, 2019 to help out Josh Allen. And then last year he was in Houston to try to help out CJ Stroud. Now he's with Drake May. And I think Drake May is more of a natural passer of the football, not more than anyone, but he's just a natural passer of the football and can make plays. And I think Stephon Diggs over there and that young learning receiving group is going to help him out. I've pretty much been screaming to anyone who will listen that Travion Henderson is one of the best backs in college coming up. And I think Travion Henderson adds a different dynamic to that backfield behind Ramondre Stevenson. I think that tandem's going to be special. Look out for Christian Gonzalez, as I call him, Gonzo. Gonzo going to make a case for being high in that top 10 corner placement. If he stays healthy, I'm thinking around 4, maybe top 7, top 4, top 7 corner. If he stays right, if he stays healthy and all goes right this year for him. But again, that over under is 8.5. I think that's about right. I'm gonna give him the under technically because I'm gonna give him 8 wins. But if they go from Drake May had 3 wins last year and he started 12 games, I think you give him another season under his belt with a better head coach. And Vrabel coming back, they give him that with that better head coach. I think they can get 5 more games out of that schedule. And then, so you have the Jets, and then you have the Dolphins. So who's going to finish last? I got the Dolphins finish last, but let me first talk about the Jets, why I have them finishing third. They got Justin Fields, Aaron Glenn taking over. His first line of business was to go ahead and get rid of Aaron Rodgers out the building, plain house there. But they brought in Justin Fields. I think this is his last opportunity to show that he's a good quarterback. And the main reason I say that this is his last opportunity is because when I look at the Jets roster on paper and I look at their depth chart on paper, the main thing that stands out to me is that offensive line. I think playing behind Chicago offensive line and then playing behind Pittsburgh offensive line, this is definitely a step up with this team. So yeah, I think with that defense, that offensive line, and Justin Fields, Sportsbook put their over under at 6.5. I'm gonna go to over, and I'm gonna give him 7. I'm gonna give him slightly over. I'm gonna give him the 7. You got Quentin Williams, Sauce Gardner on that defense. You got Brandon Stevens over there on that defense now. So that defense should, be formidable with the rush and, speed quarterbacks clocks up. Okay, and then we have the lowly Dolphins coming in at the bottom of that division, coming in at the end of that division. The Dolphins, 7.5 wins. I think I'm going to definitely give them the under. For one, this is a make or break year for Tua, and Tua has to stay healthy. I know a lot of it isn't his fault, but Tua has to stay healthy. And it's a make or break year for Mike McDonald. I think he set a culture in that Miami climate of being a calm, easygoing, relaxed coach. And yeah, that's fun. That's not necessarily winning football, though. You can win and then we can relax. I think he did relax first to try to win. And I just don't think it worked out for him that way. The Dolphins traded away Jalen Ramsey to get Minkah Fitzpatrick back in the building. But their corner may need a little their corner room may be a little bit weak now. Retired football player Darren Waller last played with the Giants the year before last. He's coming out of retirement and he went to the Dolphins. To not be so negative on the Dolphins, what I do like is I do like Chop Robinson and Bradley Chubb duo. I do like that pass rushing duo there, and that front in general. But I have the Dolphins finishing last in that division with a 6-11 record. So just to recap, in the AFC East, I have the Bills winning the division for the 6th time in a row. Then I have the Patriots coming in with 8 wins. Then I have the Jets coming in with 7 wins. And then lastly, the Dolphins with 6 wins on the season. And they failed 1, maybe 2 playoff teams, but definitely 1. All right, and then we're going to go to the AFC South. And then in the South, the Texans have won the division 2 times in a row now. And with them winning the division 2 times in a row, since they've had their coach QB combo, I think they go for 3. CJ didn't have that great of a season last year, but I think he rebounds. I think he's going to be good this year. He wasn't necessarily bad, but he just wasn't as good as his rookie season. So I think he rebounds again. But wide receivers is a little bit of a question mark, especially since they traded away one to the Eagles. And their running backs are on the wrong side of 30 at this point. And they got Nick Chubb, but Nick Chubb it's coming back from injury from 2 years ago. Hopefully he's ready to ball now. But the main thing I like about the Houston Texans, or why I think they're going to win their division, I like the defense. Honestly, I really, really like that defense. Stingley, Petrie in that secondary. Lassiter now is added to that secondary. Do you have Aziz and Henry 2020 at linebacker? And then in your front line, amazing. Daniil Hunter, Sheldon Rankins, Mario Edwards, and Will Anderson on that front line. It's crazy work. So I believe they're going to win that with that division defensively, because it's not that many strong quarterbacks in that division. But Sportsbook got it at 9.5. I'm going to give them the over at 10. And then here, this is more of a hot pick, y'all. Jacksonville Jaguars, I'm going to go with number 2. Y'all going to hear me say live and die with Trev this season. This is one of the ride or die seasons I have with Trev. Hopefully he rides and I don't look too foolish on this one. But I like Trev. I've been a fan of his since Clemson. And I like Liam Cohen. I like what Liam did with Baker Mayfield to instill confidence in him last year. So Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence, I believe, is going to be a good combination. Mainly, I like his wide receivers. Brian Thomas, De'Ami Brown, and Travis Hunter. If Travis Hunter is playing both ways, I think that core is going to be a nice young core to have. And then, like I was just saying, with Houston's defensive front, well, I said with Houston's defensive front, Jacksonville's defensive front ain't nothing to sneeze at either. With Trayvon Walker, Devon Hamilton, Eric Armstead, and Josh Hines Allen, I think that's a very formidable front as well. They're over under set at 7.5. I'm gonna be bullish and give them the 8. I'm gonna give them 9 wins. I'm gonna give them 9 wins because of their division and schedule. I'm gonna give them 9 wins. I'll go to over for them. The Colts might be ending their Anthony Richardson project a little early. But Daniel Jones is now been named the official starting quarterback of Week 1, and Anthony Richardson could be on the trade block. When I look at this team, and the reason I gave them 3, their offensive line is definitely the best in that division. It's not even clear, and they got the best running back in the division. Um, Jonathan Taylor. So I'm gonna give the Colts the over. Sportsbook got them at 7.5. I'm gonna give them 8. And the Titans, Cam Ward with Calvin Ridley can be special. But I think that's going to take some time. There's a lot more to do and to build in Tennessee. They're over under set at 5.5. I'm gonna keep that over. I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep that right there, slightly under. I'm gonna give them 5 wins on the year. All right, welcome to a brand new episode of Al You Bugging. I'm your host, your boy, Alan C. And the place to be. What's going on, y'all? I'm here with my good friend, my good brother, Eric, founder of Athletically Challenged. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, Mike guy? We finally here in the crib. Okay.
Finally,
We're
gonna
finally here
link
in the
up.
crib. Finally in the crib, man. What's up?
Man, not much, man. Let's get right into it. So you created Athletically Challenged. Let's start there. How long have you been doing Athletically Challenged? And in your words, what does Athletically Challenged provide to the
Uh,
space?
well, man, we kind of got started based off of pivoting off of COVID. When me and you met, off of during COVID, trying to figure out, for one, how we're gonna keep running this photography business and whatnot. And once kind of figured out sports, kind of coming up with this name, I tried to go left. I tried to figure out something that nobody else was doing. I was like, what's a name that nobody else has? I saw a saying showing somebody was athletically challenged, and I was like, oh, that's different. Let me see how that works. And I was like, I like it because I don't like it. It was one of those situations where I liked it because I didn't like it. Just took it, made it a stamp. And since then, Athletically Challenged was born. Most people see Athletically Challenged and they think that I was immediately covering kids that were bad in athletics. And no, Athletically Challenged is actually totally the opposite. It's where we actually challenge the athlete. We want athletes to be challenged. I feel like most people and most athletes perform better under pressure. Obviously, when you're challenged with a situation, you figure out a way to overcome it. You either let it eat you alive or you go and eat for yourself. So that's how Athletically Challenged was born, and that's what it means to be athletically challenged.
All right. So what do you currently cover, and what is your goal with Athletically Challenged as far as in the media space?
We cover everything. There's nothing that we won't cover. We've covered everything from golf to swimming, to your popular sports of basketball, football. We've also covered boxing, wrestling, high school, and even amateur wrestling. We've covered everything in the space of sports. We don't box ourselves in for only one thing. Obviously, the more popular sports like basketball and football are more uh, anticipated. They're actually more requested for people for us to cover, but we mainly cover high school students and college athletes. The goal is to help the high school students get recruited into the college space. Um, and that's what we're here for. We're here to basically help the younger generation become of who they feel like they should be. Whether that's being with their parents and talking to the parents and helping them out in the recruitment process. Athletically challenged, we don't like to kind of like put ourselves. We are a media outlet, but I don't like to say like we're a media outlet. We're more of a community, where you can come and get some things done. You can get media coverage. You can get write-ups. You can get advice. You can get anything that you can think of as far as somebody from your best friend to like a coach. That's what we provide here. We connect the dots. We like to connect athletes and students with people that can help them in their career choices. And so that's where Athletically Challenged we want to kind of be as far as like in that media space. We want to be more of a community that provides media for everybody to actually be able to obtain coverage. We don't just cover the popular, we cover the guys that you don't normally see every day. So, we don't want to be put in that box neither. Like, oh, you guys only cover popular things. Nah, we cover the sports that maybe no media is at. We go to games that there's no media coverage and we're there.
Mhm.
So that's the goal for us in that space.
Okay. What's been your favorite thing to cover thus far that you've
Ooh, that's a
covered?
good question. This is gonna sound biased. I played basketball, so basketball has been my favorite thing to cover. That is morally the one sport that, because I played it, I just kind of know how I would want it to look, so it's easier to actually cover. Basketball has been one of my favorites, but I would say my new favorite has actually been football. I've never covered football. To me, I'm always watching football on TV, and I actually was able to cover my first football game last season, and to actually see it in person and be on the sidelines because I've never been to a football game professionally, high school. I've never been to a football game, so that's been one of like
Mm,
my new up and coming favorites right now is football.
got you. All right. What one pitfall that people seem to have, starting out with, or what one pitfall that you may have kind of sidestepped or seen coming with starting your brand?
Everybody's doing it. That's going to always be the biggest pitfall if I think anybody's starting up is that everybody's doing it. So you want to try to figure out a way to separate yourself. You want to be the best. I know that a lot of creatives, we all take from each other. Let's like get that out the way. Like we all take from each other, and it's usually the gift and the curse when we all take from each other because some people might feel like you took from them, they get offended. Um, I caught myself in that space being one of those creatives that got offended when people kind of took an idea I did. And I was like, at the end of the day, we all take from each other. It just it comes with the game. It just kind of comes with, we're all doing it. There's new photographers popping up every season. You have like new 10, 15 new photographers popping up and videographers, and everybody wants to be in the action and everybody's trying to go viral. So that's one of the biggest pitfalls I feel like that's happened in the media space is that everybody wants to go viral for a moment because they think viral equals money. And I caught myself when I first started that I almost kind of was in that space where I was like, oh, I want to go viral. I want the viral moments. And I was like, at the end of the day, consistency over everything. So that was one of the biggest pitfalls I had to overcome was not trying to be going viral every day.
Got you. Um, what's one thing that you've noticed from photographers, from media, that's just a ick to you, that just sticks in your craw?
Putting down other creatives. There's no reason why a creative should suck, in your opinion. At the end of the day, there's always people that's starting up. There's always creatives that are still finding their voice. That's my biggest ick when I see other videographers telling people, saying that people are trash or, people's work is sucks. And I'm like, they saw it the way they saw it. The equipment, be, they may not be very wise on how to use their equipment yet. There's always a learning curve. So that's one of my biggest icks is creatives putting down other creatives.
All right. I've also seen Athletically Challenged has secured some big brand deals.
So we've accomplished to be affiliated with such brands as Nike, and also WWE, um, NBA Shop, NFL Shop. We've just been able to acquire these affiliations to where we're able to, build relationships with these brands, and that was kind of something I didn't think of at first. I didn't think to be affiliated with brands. I was like, that's kind of like, but we are a sports space. So
Mhm.
why not, affiliate ourselves with those guys? And, it's all hand in hand. It goes hand in hand.
So, do you plan on like leveraging as far as like helping student athletes connect with these as far as NILs, or what's your
That's always the goal. We have relationships with lawyers that do NILs, that handle NILs. So we, like I said, once again, we always connecting dots. So if there's something or we have a resource that we're able to provide for a student athlete or their parent, we will always give up. those resources, according to what their plan is and what their what they want to do. So yeah, NILs, just to inform if anybody watching this, um, you can start receiving NILs as far as young as high school in certain states. So check your state, check the NILs in your state and see if your child is capable of receiving an NIL. But NIL deals are capable of being received as low as high school at this point.
Right. And which states do you cover as far as high school, college? Or are you trying to just be national and global
But yeah,
with it?
we cover wherever we cover everywhere. We've acquired to be able to actually submit for credentials for the LA Olympics. So, we're
Mm.
waiting for that to pop up and, hopefully acquire something like that. So, we've covered, from the east to the west coast. One of our bigger coverages was capable of covering an event for Austin Reeves about 2 years ago, about a year and a half or two ago in Los Angeles. We got there, we handled the event, came right back to the East Coast, literally in the same night. So, it doesn't matter where, if it's sports, then we show up and we want to basically get everybody the best coverage that possible that we can do for
All right. And how could we reach out to,
them.
let you know?
Hey, anything that you want to do, you can reach me at athleticallychallenged.com. You can also reach me at contact@athleticallychallenged.com. And yeah, anything that you have sports wise, if your child needs coverage, if you need media days, if you need photo shoots, brand shoots, anything in the sports realm, those are the two places you can catch me and everything is athletically challenged, social media and so forth.
All right, brother. I do appreciate you coming on, taking your time out of your busy day.
I appreciate you,
Uh,
man. Appreciate you.
yeah, we definitely gonna be linking up some this season. Um, with some articles and some more stuff. So definitely be
Yeah,
on the lookout for
man,
that.
you got a lot of paraphernalia behind you over there, man. You didn't set up the crib looking nice over here, man.
Yeah, man. I
Yeah,
got
yeah,
my
yeah,
my, my Lakers, my Ravens. Um,
yeah.
Barry Sanders, my favorite athlete.
Yeah,
It's a bunch back there.
yeah, I was like, oh, crib looking nice. All right, cool, cool. All right, yeah, no doubt. But hey, I appreciate you having me, my brother.
Anytime. It's
Yes, sir.
not
Yes,
gonna be
sir.
the last time that
Of
y'all
course.
see Athletically Challenged and Al U Bugner working together.
Yes,
Trust
sir.
me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I do that every week. I do want to thank my brother Eric Wilson again. Go to athleticallychallenged.com. Um, when you see this, I'm going to be having mad articles go over there. It's going to be crazy the amount of work that me and Eric are going to be putting out over the course of this season. Um, but get right back to our AFC breakdown. Um, AFC North, just like the Texans, the Ravens have won their division the last 2 years, and it's going to be tough to win the AFC North. But I believe the Ravens have one of the best top three rosters in NFL. Um, and I'm going to break down all 53. If you go to alubugging.substack.com, let me say that again, alubugging.substack.com. I will be posting who I have predicted to make the full 53-man roster for the Ravens ahead of or pretty much simultaneously as their game tomorrow, their final game tomorrow. So, Sportsbook has the Ravens at 11 and a half wins. I don't see why they can't make 12. So I'm going to go over. Um, yeah, the best run team in the division, best quarterback in the division. Um, best secondary in the division and possibly the whole NFL. Best secondary. So I'm putting the Ravens as the number one team in the AFC North. again, could be a biased pick. Call me out on it. You know, we can have that war in the comment section of this video. But moving on, the Bengals is over under set to 9.5. This is the easiest team that can go 7-10 or 10-7. It is so easy for this team to go 7-10 and 10-7. It all depends on what happens with this defense. This offense had the leading passer last year. This offense had the Triple Crown winner last year, and Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, and it seemed to not mean much. And then they have one of the best second options in T. Higgins, one of the best third options in young wide receivers in Isyavas. And it just seemed to not matter. Chase Brown even came on after years and years of them having Joe Mixon. They went with Chase Brown last year, and he came on, and it seemed to not matter. So this game can easily be 10-7 or 7-10. It just depends. I'm going to go with the over. I'm going to go ahead and give them the 10. I think they put it together. You literally cannot. I can't stress this enough. You literally cannot play that bad again on defense. I don't think it's possible with players that are trying to not play for picks, but play for pride and play for a playoff position. I don't think it's possible for them to play that bad again defensively. But if they do, and Joe Burrow has to miss another playoff in 3 straight years. Y'all know one of my favorite quarterbacks of all time, my absolute favorite quarterback of all time, there's no shame in it, it's Drew Brees. And Joe Burrow might be getting the Drew Brees treatment by his defense right now. Like, no matter what he does, it's like that defense sometimes just can't get it right when they need to get it right. But passing leader, Triple Crown at wide receiver, sack leader on defense, and no playoffs. Like, that is damn near impossible in 2024 to happen. And I think it's going to be very impossible in 2025 to happen. If they had Trey Hendrickson and Shamar Stewart out there, I can't see this defense being that bad again. Moving on to the Steelers. I'm going to, out of respect for Tomlin, I'm going to give him a 9-8 season. He never goes under 500. And they're over under set to 8.5. So yeah, I'm gonna give them 9 wins, but I'm gonna give them third in the division. They got Aaron Rodgers, they got DK Metcalf. I don't see a big upgrade from DK Metcalf from Pickens to DK Metcalf. It is an upgrade, nonetheless. It is an upgrade, but the receiving core is still pretty much the same. I don't see an upgrade from Justin Fields, what Justin Fields gave them early, to what Aaron Rodgers would give them. I don't see it. I don't see a big upgrade in that. I still see them being a formidable team. I still see them being a great defense. TJ Watt got his money. Derek Harmon, shout out to him as the rookie. He seems to escape serious injury in his knee last night. Just a knee sprain, not anything torn or ruptured. So shout out to him, prayers to him. Don't want to see him out. And, the Steelers got 2 former Ravens linebackers with Queen and Harrison. And then they got the Joker in the defensive backfield. But again, I don't see much of an upgrade by adding Harrison. I don't see much of an upgrade trading Minkah Fitzpatrick for Jalen Ramsey. I just don't see it. So I'm gonna give them 9. I'm gonna give them 9 wins. And then the Browns. Well, the Browns is the Browns, and they can't seem to get out their own way. Shout out to Joe Flacco for getting the starting job. He has been announced as the starting quarterback. Dylan Gabriel will be second, and Shedeur Sanders is third on the depth chart now with Kenny Pickett nursing the injury. That's the order which they're going to play tomorrow's final exhibition game. But Browns are the Browns, and 5 wins seems generous, so I'm definitely going to go on the under on that one. All right, and the last division in the whole AFC is the best division in the AFC, the AFC West, the most competitive division in the AFC West. I don't see any team. No, let me take that back. I do see the Raiders finishing under 500, but I got 3 teams from this division going above 500, and that's the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Broncos. The Chiefs have won this division pretty much since Mahomes has been in the business. And until they give me a reason to prove them wrong or to doubt them, I'm going to give them the benefit of it. And I'm going to say the Chiefs win their division again. Over under has it 11.5. I'm going to go slightly under, or I'm going to say 11 wins, just because the division is so hard. It's not a guaranteed 4 or 5, not guaranteed 5-6 wins in this division. They might drop down to 4. Could drop down to 3, and I wouldn't even be surprised. So I have the Chiefs at 11 wins in the division. The Chargers was at 9.5, but with that injury to Rashawn Slater, I can't see how a power run team loses their left tackle and does not take a slide back. Justin Herbert is amazing. Larry McConkey is amazing. They got Keenan Allen back. But they got Najee Harris added to the backfield. The over-under is at 9.5. I'm going to give them the under. I'm going to give them 9. Broncos over-unders at 9.5 as well. I'm going to give them the over. I'm going to give them 10. 10 wins. I think that defense was great and got better. Got the defensive player of the year. They added Greenlaw. If he's healthy, he's a baller. And Hufanga, when he's healthy, he is making plays all over the field. Then you got their quarterback with Sean Payton. That's still going to be amazing. So in this division, the order I have is the Chiefs, the Broncos, the Chargers, then the Raiders. It's going to take Pete Carroll some time to get that team right. But I do like what they're doing. I like they're moving in that direction with Pete Carroll. But they just missed the playoff. They need some time to get better. So in the whole AFC, the order of my AFC, I have Bills getting the 1 seed. Then I have the Ravens getting the 2 seed. The Chiefs will be the 3rd seed for winning the West. And the Houston Texans will be the 4th seed winning the South. And then the 3 wild card teams, I have the Broncos, I have the Chargers, and then I have the Bengals. So 5, 6, or 7. So we get 3. We get 3 Ravens Bengals games this year. We get 3 Broncos. 3 Chiefs Chargers games this year. But yeah, that's how the AFC is going to shake out if it all went my way. And again, could be Are You Bugging, which is the name of the show. And you can follow me on Instagram and YouTube at Al_you_bugging. Like I said, we can have these conversations. We can have these debates there. We can hash them out. I do want you to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that Al You Bugging is back at it again. I appreciate you for listening, for coming out. Again, that's some football tonight. I'm going to get into the NFC next week, and Ravens play tomorrow at noon. Like I said, go to alubugging.substack.com. See my prediction of the 53-man roster. All right, be blessed, be productive, be more. I love you.